What's a reflexive verb in Spanish? This is a quick lesson to understand the reflexive concept in Español. Sometimes when a person is performing an action, they are at the same time performing and receiving. In every single sentence in Spanish, we have a subject, the one performing the action, we have a verb, the action itself, and also complementary information, which is when the action is happening, where, and also what's receiving the action. So when I say yo bebo café, I have the subject here, the verb, which is conjugated in Spanish, and also what am I drinking here? Café. So when the complementary information is answering the question what, we call it object, objeto. So sometimes the subject and the object in the sentence is the same. I'm performing the action and I'm receiving, like when I shave, when I wake up, when I take a shower. Those actions are reflexive in Spanish. It's like looking at the mirror, but you're not looking the object mirror, you're looking yourself. So every time in English you have this, myself, yourself, probably is gonna be reflexive in Español. Let's check some examples. I can say yo amo la música. So here we're following the structure of the sentence, subject, verb, and object. But what if I love myself? How do I say that? Yo amo yo? Well, that's not the case. This is incorrect. What we're gonna say here is yo me amo. So we're putting the person who's receiving the action in front, and since I'm loving myself, this is a reflexive action in Español. You're gonna recognize reflexive verbs because they have an extra ending. You know the endings in Spanish, AR for verbs, ER and IR. And now we're gonna add the SE. So if we have bañar, which is to take a shower, is bañarse. It's a reflexive verb when you're not showering another person but yourself, right? So when you're gonna conjugate this verb, it's an AR1, so it's baño, bañas, baña, bañamos, and bañan. You already know that because you remember the present tense, but when you're conjugating a reflexive verb, we need to put the pronoun in front. Me for me, te, se, nos, and se. And then you conjugate the verb the way that you know already. Me baño, I take a shower. Te bañas, you take a shower. Se baña, nos bañamos, for the first person plural, nosotros, and se bañan, they take a shower. So that's the process that you're gonna follow with verbs like levantarse, to get up, vestirse, to get dressed, maquillarse, to put on makeup, afeitarse, which is to shave, and all of the verbs that you find that ends with se. This is telling you that the verb is reflexive. I know that doesn't exist in English, but if you want me to cover more about this, leave me a comment. Remember that I'm Nelfer Belilla, and this is 2 Minute Spanish.